This video is a challenge to every evolutionist in the world, and most notably to those preachers of evolutionism on YouTube. I'm about to show you a single piece of evidence that discredits evolution, proves conclusively, unequivocally, unarguably that evolution is false. What you're about to see in this video is going to prove that evolution is false. Evolutionists believe that mountains rose over vast periods of time. They believe the plates of the earth are moving ever so slowly. And they believe that mountains rose because the continental plates of the earth are creepy crawling across the earth at the same rate now that they always have been in the past, roughly. And that this slow process causes very slow mountain building. They believe that all the mountain ranges of the world rose over millions of years. Now, evolution theory is tied to uniformitarianism. You see, because if these millions of years don't exist, then evolution didn't have any time span in which to happen. A little piece of interesting information. The idea that all of the variety of life in this world was created over vast amounts of time is untenable if for no other reason than it would not be enough time. Because we can observe the rate at which creatures change and how they change, and they change cosmetically only. So, calculating over the time span that man has observed living species which are unchanged in the history of mankind, we can calculate, you see, how long it would have taken for all of the morphological change to occur, which would account for all the families, genus, and species of life in this world, you see. And guess what? It's not nearly enough time. Not even 750 million years is anywhere near enough time. It would take billions and billions and billions of years at the rate and in the way that life changes. Because all we observe is cosmetic change, and that doesn't support evolution at all. There's no known observed example of morphological change, none in the fossil record, and there's not even a mechanism known for morphological change. Mutation has been discredited as a mechanism for morphological change. But I'm going to show you a piece of evidence that discredits evolution because it's tied to uniformitarianism. And you see, if these many hundreds of millions of years that evolutionists claim is the time period over which all of this morphological change, all of this evolutionary change has taken place, do not exist, then evolution didn't exist. You see, evolution didn't happen. If this earth is young, evolution didn't happen. It's that simple. First, let's try to understand what the evolutionists / uniformitarianists believe. They believe that the continental plates of the earth have been moving at about the same speed they are today over a period of hundreds of millions of years. And they believe that the mountain building processes on the earth take place over many millions of years, because the earth's plates are moving at the same pace roughly today that they always have been. Here's a page from a NASA education site that states the great mountain ranges of the world were created because of the constant but very slow movement of the Earth's plates. That's false. They haven't been constantly moving at the same speed. However, that's what they believe, you see. Mountain building is a very slow process. Here's another from the same website, which states, folding is a process in which the Earth's plates are pushed together in a roller coaster-like series of high points and low points. Folding bends many of the layers of rock without breaking them. Now, think about what they just said. Folding bends many layers of rock without breaking them. Folks, that is the most absurd statement I have ever heard in all of science from anyone. What you just heard is the most cockamamie, poppycock, impossible thing, lie, stupid thing any evolutionist has ever said. Folding bends many layers of rock without breaking them, they say. We'll come back to this. They state further, the Appalachian Mountains and Rocky Mountains of the United States and the Alps of Europe are examples of ranges which were formed by folding. Many of the greatest mountain ranges of the world have formed because of enormous collisions between continents. So you see, here they're stating that the Rocky Mountains, Appalachian Mountains, and those of Europe and others, because really, in truth, all of the mountains ranges of the earth are folded. Okay, that's important. Remember that. They are folded. Here's one from geodesy.miami.edu, which states, numerical modeling suggests that the crustal thickening process reached a critical point, then begins to slow down convergence via viscous coupling of the deep continental root and the subducted plate, in effect limiting the period of rapid mountain building, they say, to 5 to 10 million years. They believe, in other words, the shortest period of time that mountains have ever risen on the earth is 5 to 10 million years. 5 to 10 million years. Okay. That's false. We're going to show you why. Here's another from physicalgeography.net. They state, mountain building episodes in North America, Cordillera, have been occurring over a very long time and are still continuing today. See, millions of years. They state here, mountain building in this region of the world started 450 million years ago, and orogeny stopped in the Appalachians about 250 million years ago. That's a period of 150 million years. Now here's another from honolulu.hawaii.edu, which states, it is kind of difficult to imagine a mountain range as a transient feature on Earth, but this is part of the problem we have in comprehending the immensity of geologic time. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. It is incomprehensible, all right. Yes, it really is. And here, from honolulu.hawaii.edu, the period of orogeny itself, the mountain building process, commonly exceeds 100 million years of time. So there you have it. So evolutionists are uniformitarianists. They have to be. And they believe that mountains formed over many millions of years, typically over 100 million years. All of the mountain ranges of the earth, they believe, the vast majority of mountains on the earth, formed over many millions of years, up to and exceeding 100 million years. This is false, and I'm about to show you proof that it's not true. I think it's important that I pointed out that NASA webpage made the claim that mountains can fold without breaking the rock. That's not even common sense, folks. And it's not possible either. But here's your proof. Get ready for it. What you're seeing now are examples of folded mountains. All of the mountain ranges of the world contain folded mountains. The vast majority of mountains in this world are folded. Many of them contain erratic boulders trapped inside the mountain at various levels in the strata. Another evidence that would take a lot of explaining to go into that discredits uniformitarianism, but you see these strata are folded and curled and bent every which way. The evolutionists at NASA made a crazy, absurd statement that is actually a lie, made in the name of uniformitarianism and evolutionism, that strata can be bent without breaking. That's impossible. Show me a mountain in this earth that is nothing but mud from top to bottom and has been that way for millions of years. There is no such thing. A hill, maybe, not a mountain. You see, if the mountains were rising over such incredibly slow rates as evolutionists believe, gravity would suck the water out of them as they rose, ever so slowly, and they would harden and dry. How long does it take for mud to dry after a local flood? It doesn't take long. Doesn't take long at all. Go outside and find a dirt lot somewhere and take yourself a tank of water, and with a hose you spread that water out onto the ground on top of a hill of dirt. Come back in a week and see if it's still mud. I promise you it won't be, because it'll evaporate, and water that's drawn down into the earth will keep sinking down, down, down. As a mountain rose, if it rose over such vast amounts of time, gravity of the earth would pull the water out of it. There is not a mountain in the world that's mud at the top all the way through to its bottom, and it has been that way for millions of years. Rock is brittle. Rock breaks under pressure. It doesn't bend. Magma can be bent, but it's molten, you see. But these mountains, when they rose, are not molten, and the uniformitarianists themselves don't claim that giant balls of magma existed and were pushed up out of the earth, which hardened slowly. No, you see, they were rock already. They were strata. It is not possible for these strata to be formed, curled, bent, rolled every which way, unless they were plastic, that is soft and still moist, when they were pushed up. You see, this is conclusive proof that every mountain range and every mountain of the earth rose in virtually no time at all. So fast, in fact, that gravity did not have time to suck the water out of the mountain. The strata from the bottom of the mountain to its very peak were plastic as the mountain rose fully. Mountain building has not been and cannot have been going on for millions of years. It's not even possible for any mountain of the earth to have risen over a period of 1 million years. Not even 10,000 years. Because in far less time than that, gravity would suck the water out of the mountain, and its strata would harden. This proves that all of the strata in all of the mountains of the world were formed rapidly in virtually no time at all, just like the flood of Noah tells us it would happen. So you see, uniformitarianism and evolution are tied together. They are necessary for each other. And I've just proven to you that all the mountain ranges of the world are folded, and it's, of course, folding is not possible, like NASA said. It's the most ridiculous lie ever made in the name of evolutionism. So here's the challenge to you evolutionist preachers out there. I want you to show me how it's possible for cold, dry rock to curl and swirl and bend and roll because of pressure. Cold, hard rock. Not magma, no. The evolutionists don't even believe. These geologists don't believe that the mountain was a giant ball of magma and it was hot and stayed hot. No, see, they realized and admit that the strata were formed by sedimentary material, you see. That's formed in water. And then rose, right? Okay? Just right out of the ocean, it's in fact. So show me how cold, dry, hard rock can be squeezed so that it curls and swirls around underneath itself and around it every which way. Cold, dry, hard rock. Let's see it. You see, I've just disproven evolutionism because I've disproven uniformitarianism, and the imaginary millions of years don't exist. Sorry, folks. Evolutionism is a lie. You know your challenge. I want to see how cold, hard rock can be squeezed so that it can curl and roll and fold all amongst itself. Let's see it. So if you're someone on the fence about evolution, don't know whether to believe it or not, don't know if it's true or not, I've just proven to you it can't be. And it's a good example of the statement from NASA as to why you shouldn't believe anything that comes out of the mouth of an evolutionist or a uniformitarianist. Don't believe anything these people say. You just heard the greatest lie that's ever been told in the name of evolutionism. Do these scientists actually believe that rock, cold, hard rock, can be folded and swirled and bent all in every which way like that? No, they don't believe it. But what do they tell you? They tell you it had to happen anyway. Shh.